Hello and welcome. You're watching Next IAS English, and today we are diving into a topic that's making a lot of headlines, the 8th Pay Commission. Now, basically, this is the body that decides how much central government employees and pensioners will earn. Their salaries, pensions, allowances, and just recently, the Union Cabinet gave the green light to its terms of reference, which officially kicks off the process. So let's quickly get started. Now, over the next few minutes, we are going to understand what exactly the Pay Commission does, who's in it this time, what this TOR, terms of reference, means, and the big question, is the government really bound to accept its recommendations? So let's start with the basics first. First things first, what exactly is the Pay Commission? Every 10 years or so, the central government sets up this commission and it takes a fresh look at pay allowances and pensions of its employees. And why does it happen? Because the cost of living keeps changing. See, inflation is happening, expenses are going up, everything goes up, and salaries need to keep pace with it. So till now, there have been 7 pay commissions. 7 pay commissions so far. 7th one was formed in 2014 with its recommendations kicking in from January 1, 2016. So you can say the Pay Commission acts like a salary revision board for the entire central government system, keeping things fair and updated with time. Moving forward, let's talk about composition of the 8th Pay Commission. Now, let's see what's the composition of it. Now, who's actually running the commission? So, the Union Cabinet approved the 8th Pay Commission on 28th October 2025 and it's going to have 3 members in it. It's headed by Justice Ranjana Desai, who will be the chairperson. Then Professor Pulak Ghosh, who is an economist. He's a professor, economist and data expert. And then lastly, Mr. Pankaj Jain. He's a very senior bureaucrat known for his administrative experience. Together, they'll study everything from the economy to pay comparisons, and they'll have around 18 months to submit a report, their final report. That means we can expect it around May 2027. So yeah, a lot of number crunching and balancing coming up for them with this report. Moving forward, let's talk about the terms of reference. Now, as I told you, what is the terms of reference? Let's talk about that. So, before the commission starts its actual work, it needs a sort of roadmap, and that's called the terms of reference or TOR. You can think of the TOR as the rule book or guideline that defines what the commission can and cannot do. It tells them, okay, here's your scope, here are your objectives, and these are the boundaries. So everything is there. So the TOR covers everything: salaries, pensions, allowances, service conditions, and it also reminds the commission to consider India's economic condition, fiscal balance, and social welfare needs in mind. So in short, the TOR ensures that Commission's recommendations are not just employee friendly but also realistic for the government to implement, and because the government is the one who's going to pay all this. Now let's talk about the 2 words that often confuse people: the fitment factor and 3-unit formula. So the fitment factor is basically a multiplier. It helps convert your old basic salary into a new one. For example, in the 7th Pay Commission, 2.57 was used, and now if the 8th Pay Commission increases it to 2.8 or 3, it means your basic pay could jump quite a bit. Even it could double or triple in some cases. So then comes the 3-unit formula. It's used to calculate the minimum wage based on the needs of an average family, usually 1 earning member and 2 dependents. Alright, so if your new basic pay is 44,460, HRA is 30%, which is this much, so your total income will be this. This formula keeps things practical. It connects salaries with real family needs and cost of living. Now, moving forward, let's talk about is the government bound to accept the recommendations? Now, This is the question everyone keeps on asking. Is the government forced to accept the pay commission's recommendations? And the answer is no, it's not mandatory. Under the constitution, the government is not legally required to implement every recommendation. However, and this is important, in the past, almost all the big recommendations were accepted, whether it was the 6th or the 7th pay commission. Sometimes the government tweaks a few things, maybe changes the percentages or delays implementation, but completely rejecting the report is extremely rare, mainly because it affects millions of employees and has political as well as economic implications. So practically speaking, the government does end up following most of it, but it is not bound to recommend it. Now, moving forward, let's talk about the implementation timeline and economic impact. So let's quickly see when this all might actually happen and what it means for the economy. So the report is due, the Commission's report is expected to be around April-May 2027, but the implementation date might still be January 2026 to keep the 10-year cycle going. If everything goes as expected, salaries could rise up to 3 times depending on the fitment factor, and that means better living standards, higher consumer spending and a little boost for the overall economy as well. But yes, there's a flip side too. The government's financial burden increases quite a bit since it has to pay more across all departments and schemes. So it's always a balancing act, keeping employees happy while maintaining fiscal discipline. That's all this report is about. So I think we've covered most part of the whole 8th pay commission. Now let's talk about MCQ for revision. Under the Indian Constitution, is the central government bound to implement pay commission recommendations? I have already discussed this in the video, so I hope you know the answer. A, yes always. B, no, but it usually follows them with some changes. C, only for pensions. D, only if approved by Parliament. I want you all to comment the answer in the comment section below. Do let me know what your answer is. What do you think? Is the government bound to implement the pay commission's recommendation? And I think, that is it for today. I will see you in another deep dive video. If you enjoyed today's video, if you found the video informative, do like, share and subscribe the video. And thank you so much for watching once again. I'll see you in another video. Until then, bye-bye. Take care.